we speak to Pita Limjaroenrat, who speaks to us from Vancouver. He is the almost prime minister of Thailand. He wrote a book about it, but instead of becoming the prime minister of Thailand, he is banned from politics for the next 10 years and is now a visiting senior democracy fellow at Harvard University. I'm going to move to the next speaker now, Pita Limjaroenrat from Vancouver. He's going to talk to us about how to take lessons from democratic transitions and how to sail through a time of political turbulence. The floor is yours.
Yes, as a former politician from Thailand, I see 4 challenges that civil society is facing in times of turbulence like this. First is strategically. A lot of CSO, civil society groups, is being stigmatized as a foreign agent, as radical, as extremist, as people who's trying to create chaos in the society because the states cannot solve problems and they can start thinking about how to influence rather, how to control rather. So that's the first issue that civil society is facing in democratic backsliding. Second is operationally. I think visa denials, the bureaucracy of the government making civil society registered and the extra accounting practices that CSOs in Thailand have to face have become quite a challenge. Financially, obviously, a lot of cuts from various walks of life, and that requires a lot of reorganization of the civil society group. And I think lastly is on technologically. I feel like there's a lot of information operation, misinformation and disinformation that is trying to make sure that the CSO does not get to deliver the values and the contribution that they have for democracy. In the last few years, half of the billion of people of the entire world get to go to the election. However, the freedom of expression, whether you look at The Economist, whether you look at FreeDem, whether you look at the Freedom House, has been going down. So without a strong, resilient CSO groups, it'll be very hard for democracy to hold together as a whole. And I think that's enough from what I have to say. I'm returning the time back to other panelists. Thank you.
Because looking at what happened to you, right, you were nearly the prime minister, and I think you really were still optimistic until the end, right, of your struggle to be able to make it. What exactly was the main key element that made it fail?
Repeat the question again. I almost understand, but please repeat the last question.
Yeah, what do you see? Because there was, of course, a lot of powers at play and
Yes.
the Constitutional Court and all that stuff.
Yes.
But what do you see is the main, if you would sum it up, basically, what would be the main enemy you had at the time?
So in Thailand, the summary of Thai politics is a generational clash between democratic aspirations and institutional conservatism. So people wanted change and voted for it, but the constitutional mechanism, whether it's the appointed senators appointed by the military junta, or judicial capture, or independent organizations, or media capture, have stopped the democratic aspirations of the people. But civic awakening happened during that time, and hopefully we can finally move beyond all these state capture that the bad elites have been trying to do.
But very clearly a generational gap.
Yes, a clash.
Yeah, exactly. So the old versus the new.
Yes, exactly.
Old versus young.
It's an old consensus and new normal. So it's a new normal, new challenges, new way of doing things, but the old elites still want the old ways.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for the first 4 speakers. It's all very super interesting and much of many leads to go on in a discussion later.